The tariffs will be in place in the not distant future because, as you know, like we did with steel, like we did with automobiles, like we did with aluminum, which are now fully on, we'll be doing that with semiconductors, with chips, and numerous other things. And that'll take place in the very near future.
What rate the semiconductor tariff?
I'm going to be announcing it over the next week.
President Trump speaking from Air Force One on Sunday, pledging U.S. tariffs will be imposed on phones, computers, and consumer electronics, despite a temporary exemption announced on Friday. For more, we're joined by Bloomberg's executive editor for global tech, Peter Elstrom. Peter, there feels to have been a lot of back and forth. Just catch us up on where we exactly stand with tariffs on electronics.
It was a very dramatic weekend. So very late on Friday, we got notice in a government filing that certain products, including smartphones, the iPhone, Apple's iPhone in particular, other products like the iPad, computers like the Macs, would be exempt from these very high tariffs on goods going from China into the United States. Those are 125% tariffs. That was seen as a very serious threat for Apple in particular, some other companies too, but Apple in particular because they make most of their products within China. They're shipping many of them into the United States, too. So that was an exemption on Friday. As we saw over the weekend, though, the Trump administration walked back that exemption. They talked about how these goods are not going to be permanently exempt and that this was a temporary reprieve, in fact. So Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, first talked about this on the morning shows on Sunday. And then Trump, as you were mentioning, talked about how these tariffs are going to be implemented. They've talked about using something called Section 232 to do this. That's a process that's fairly long. It's pretty open. They get public commentary to try to figure out what those tariffs are going to be. Trump referred to the tariffs on steel in particular. Those are about 25%. So you could see a pretty dramatic come down from 125% to about 25% for some of these products coming from China into the United States, although we don't have those specifics quite yet.